First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is Arizona massive sandstorm. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a news article here by APR Associated Press. And it reads that after fearsome dust storm rips Phoenix area, trees cleanup and power restored. Let's get just a little bit of this report. I have videos bringing out with more edification. We're just gonna get a little bit of this report. It says here, crews clean up down trees and got electricity mostly restored for thousands of people Tuesday after a powerful dust storm roared through the Phoenix area. The wall of dust towering hundreds of feet, meters high, dwarfed the city's neighborhoods called a habu. The wind-driven phenomenon blackened skies and initially knocked out electricity for 55,000 customers late Monday afternoon. So right here, this all of a sudden happened in Phoenix, but they say this happened pretty much all the time. But we already know that the Lord is calling these things to be more intense. So they're saying right here, this knocked out power, and also it delayed flights in Arizona. So right now we know that the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created, because we know right now, that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth judgment. These plagues are not going to slack down for a moment. So it seems like pretty much each and every day something is happening, all across the world. And we constantly warn it. That's why the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of all these things that is happening, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear each and every day. We sound like a broken record, but hey, man, these are the times that we're living in. And one thing about it that we're seeing right now, things every day, the vibration of the earth is changing. We're seeing these storms are getting more intense. The weather pattern is getting more stranger and stranger. More storms, more flooding, more earthquakes in diverse places, more thunderstorms. All sorts of things are constantly picking up. It's more intense. It's more increase. A lot of people say, oh, this happened all the time, but not like this. So they had a massive wall of dust that came through the Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, also in that Nevada a valley over there. And also they had that what you call that Burning Man festival over there. Also, I think they had it last year, and I think it was a lot of flooding or something happened last year. And now this year, the Lord brought a sandstorm. See, the Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment. This wicked queendom is almost over, and we cannot wait. So we seeing right now that people lost power. This storm caused a lot of things to happen. People got displaced. A lot of these things constantly are picking up. These strange sights. These fearful sights continually to be happening left and right. So I think this happened Monday or early Monday morning. So these things called habu. It's like a intense sandstorm. So you very, very rarely hear about something like this happening in the U.S. that not that often, but they said this happened happened sometime in Phoenix, but I have never heard of that happening like the way it said it happened today. So so it pretty much shut down a lot of things, and a lot of people might speculate, say that it was the heart manipulating. Well, one thing about it, we know this is all through the spirit of power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So now they have power restored. A lot of things is happening. So man, every day is something happening. So the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. And also, we're keeping our eyes on what's going off in the Gulf. Saying two storms out there in the Gulf. I got to keep an eye on that too. Also, we got to see how that where that is going to lead. So they keep on talking about this documentary about Hurricane Katrina. So this happened over 20 years ago, but why all of a sudden now you bringing back up that one of the worst storm that ever hit the Gulf Coast, which in fact was Katrina, and it was another one too, but that one right there was pretty prevalent, and a lot of death and destruction. So we already knowing that, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So now I started today's video, and after the video we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified. So now we're seeing sandstorm, tornadoes, flooding. We pretty much it's no surprise. Every day something is happening, man. So that's why we gotta seek the Lord right now. Cause we're running out of time. We're seeing right now these things are picking up just like clockwork. Is nothing going back to same. We're here, y'all. Let's go ahead and start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. I hope that you will get edified.
Unfolding in Arizona, a massive dust storm blanketing the Phoenix metro area. Phoenix, Arizona was blanketed with a thick wall of dust known as a haboob that darkened the skies and knocked out power to thousands as a major monsoon hit the area. More than 35,000 residents and businesses throughout Maricopa County are now left without power from the powerful storm. Flash flood warnings were also issued for multiple parts of western Arizona near the border with California. This time-lapse video showing the imposing wall of dust engulfing Arizona State University's football stadium and blotting out the sun, the towering wall rolling in, an incredible view from above showing the sheer size of the storm. It goes up thousands of feet and it rolls, and it's fast, scared the light out of me. Drivers hit with monsoon rain and winds of up to 70 miles an hour as the dust storm, literally nobody will launch into it. The airport damaged, its roof leaking. Over 300 flights delayed. In the powerful storm's wake, debris left in the streets. Nearly 50,000 customers left without power.
Today is day 2 of Burning Man, and people will be spending it cleaning up. The annual event officially kicked off yesterday in the Nevada desert with a massive dust storm. Strong winds flipped tents, just look at this, and wiped out camps in Black Rock City, though gates have since reopened. At least 4 people were hurt. Their injuries are said to be minor. The dust was so thick, people couldn't see a foot in front of them. Wind also destroyed at least 1 art installation. Now, this is new video showing the situation last night. Rain created some mud on La Playa. That's what they call the main area there. 70 to 80,000 people, many of them from the Bay Area, are expected for this counterculture festival. It runs through the week through September 1st.
A wall of dust rolled through Phoenix Monday, blocking out the sun and bringing much of the city to a halt. Time-lapse footage showing the storm blanketing neighborhoods and Arizona State University's football stadium. At Phoenix's Sky Harbor Airport, flights were temporarily grounded. Across the region, drivers were stuck with no visibility.
Okay, so we are in the middle of a haboob and can't see anything.
The dust storm, called a haboob, occurs when air is forced down and forward by a thunderstorm cell traveling through a hot, dry area. That front caused wind gusts as strong as 60 miles per hour. And brought heavy rains after the dust storm, damaging the roof of the Phoenix airport and knocking out power for more than 15,000 people.
So we're seeing right now that, these things, right, is more and more obvious and clear that we are at the end. We're seeing these things left and right. We cannot hardly keep up with all this information. Let's start here first. And also, when you get around to look up that Burning Man festival, I think something last year happened in that during that festival last year. I think it was a lot of stars out there, and they had to evacuate. I think it was a flooding or something like that happened. I can't remember what it was, but now he done sent the sandstorm. The Lord is sick and tired of this place. The Lord is constantly causing these things to happen. A lot of people are still think that they're a good case in these fearful sights and these different strange weather patterns. These strange storms are coming. They're not strange to us, but it's strange to other people. A lot of people looking at this, man, bam, all of a sudden. But some people say that this all the time happened in Arizona. That's a lot for me rambling, but we finna get to today's lesson. Let's go here to 2 chapter 15 and verse 11. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. And so like here for the rambling. It says here, 2 Ezra chapter 15 And verse 11 said, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And out about we already know that Egypt, is hand in hand with the house of bondage. And the modern day Egypt is America. And out about, so we're in our second Egypt right now. And out about, they're still in the land of our captivity. So we know what happened back in Moses' time. When you go to Exodus chapter 7, it'll tell you about the plagues. With the Lord's son against Egypt back then, ancient Egypt. So now the Lord's bringing these new plagues. You know what I'm saying? There's no new thing under the sun. And the Lord said he will what? Destroy all the land thereof. So that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. He's spreading it out with that mighty hand. You know what I'm saying? The Lord got that mighty hand, which in fact, you know what I'm saying, is what? Yahushua, Hamashiach. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. That's what we constantly warning you left and right. So these things are right here in front of our faces. Let's read this once again. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11 said, but I will bring them with a mighty hand, and and stretch out with a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So that's what the Lord is getting ready to do. He's getting ready to destroy Babylon the Great. He's bringing these plagues left and right, and they're not going to slack down. Verse 12, it said, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten, said, with the plagues and punishment that the Almighty shall bring upon it. So that's what the Lord is constantly doing, bringing these plagues left and right, whether people believe it or not, we seeing it happening left and right, it constantly picking up. And also we see that these prophecies are speaking loud and clear. So Egypt shall mourn, and the modern day Egypt, once again, is America, Babylon the Great. In this place, Egypt is work hand in hand with the house of bondage. So that's what we're seeing left and right. And the Lord said he will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So exactly what we're seeing. We know what happened back in Moses' time. We're seeing in this time, we're seeing that also a lot of places around the world are also they having a lot of these rivers and these waterways around the world are turning blood red. So the Bible is speaking right now. And also locusts is served several places around the world. It's also, it was a report that it was locusts in Israel, so these things, they're not putting in the news. So we seeing these things are happening left and right. So we seeing that Egypt is getting ready to mourn. The Lord's getting ready to destroy this place. And also we know that he's going to bring forth those IBCM missiles. So we are very close to the Lord, constantly bringing this place down brick by brick. So let's go here to Luke chapter, a little bit under weather, so bear with me. Luke chapter 21, Luke chapter 21 and verse 11. Let's go straight to the point here. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famine and pestilence, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So that's exactly what we're seeing, these fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So right now we're seeing that big, massive wall of dust, a wall of sand coming through Arizona and also through Nevada. All of a sudden, you just be sunshine, all of a sudden a storm just to come up. And also we know about the earthquakes pretty much every day, earthquakes everywhere, famine, famine is going to be in a land like we have never seen before. Also pestilence goes into these plagues, what we're seeing right now, fearful sights and great signs that shall there be from heaven. So that's exactly what we're seeing. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. Let's get this last one right quick. Let's go here. Not meant to be a long lesson tonight. Just something I'm seeing through the spirit. But I'll put something else a little bit better together tomorrow. But I'm hoping that you will receive this message here. Let's see. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse, I think it's around verse 6. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6 says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, so with storms and tempests and the flame of divine fire. So that's exactly what we're seeing right now. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. The Lord eyes is upon the sinful kingdom. And that's why we see these things every day. Something happening over here, something is happening over there. Prophecies are speaking loud and clear, And also we seeing that the men of the Lord are constantly warning you about these things happening left and right. But a lot of people, still think that it's, everything would be all right, but it's nothing is going back the same. Time is constantly speeding up. We seeing that every day these prophecies are just constantly popping just like clockwork. We knowing that right now that we coming into the point of no return. So right now the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. How is he doing that? Through the eyes of the Most High, the UFOs, the UAPs, they're constantly doing the bidding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Judgment is now at hand. So let's read this once again. We'll close out. It's Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6 said, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, or the Lord of armies, said, with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise and storms and tempests and the flame of divine fire." So we already know that thunder, we seeing that every day, thunder and lightning, earthquakes in diverse places. That great noise goes into what? Those gonna go into these IBCM missiles, World War III, and storms, all sorts of storms, like a sandstorm, or these rainstorms, thunderstorm. It's all sorts of storms that happen. Tempest goes into these cyclones, goes into these hurricanes. The one that's already brewing out there in the Gulf. A lot of these things had the flame of divine fire. And also that can go twofold. We got all these different so-called forest fires all across the world. Just burning out acres and acres of trees. And also that divine fire goes into that those IBCM missiles when they'll be shot throughout the ends of the earth. So we're very close to that. We know that MOTB is fast approach before that happened, So we know that we're here, man. We're so very close. So we saying that the sandstorm, flooding, earthquakes in diverse places, we're seeing one thing behind another, strange things are constantly occurring, but not strange for us. Signs of the time, we put it like that. Signs of the times are here. They're right before our eyes. That's what we constantly seeing left and right. And once again, the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. So we are here, man. So we see that these people over there in Nevada and they was kind of, displaced. A lot of people, they still not thinking that it wasn't much of nothing, but they said a proof man foresees the evil and hides himself. So let's get that right quick before we close out. Let's get this one right quick, because you got to be watching. You got to be knowing the signs of the time. I think that's Proverbs 29 and verse no, let's see, Proverbs 29, let's see where it's at. A proof man foreseeth the evil. I think it's Proverbs 23. Let's see. Is it 23? No, it's 22. Proverbs 22. Proverbs 22 and verse 3 said, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." So a prudent man or a wise man are true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. We foresee the evil. We seeing these things constantly, very obvious and clear that these are the signs of the time. Also the birth pain. We see it, we hide it ourselves. How do we hide ourselves? This wisdom is knowledge, this gospel. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. But the simple pass on and are punished, so which in fact are the 2/3, they're not watching, they're not being circumspect, they're not redeeming the time wisely. And all these things are constantly happening around us left and right. We're seeing that Trump is constantly mobilizing these troops throughout the entire across America, through these major cities. So things are constantly picking up. We're seeing it happen right. So, we got to watch, pray without ceasing. And also we got to seek the Lord while he can be found. So I'm done rambling, but the title of the lesson once again is Arizona, massive sandstorm. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.